Hello my friend. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video to provide more. Graphic video shows Buffalo police pushing man to ground during George Floyd protest. The death of George Floyd, a black man who died on Memorial Day after he was pinned down by a white Minnesota police officer, has sparked outrage and protests in Minneapolis and across the United States. Second-degree murder, third-degree murder and manslaughter charges have been filed against Derek Chauvin, the officer who prosecutors say held his knee on Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes. The 3 other officers have been charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder and aiding and abetting manslaughter. All 4 officers have been fired. Governors in 32 states and Washington, D.C., have activated more than 32,400 members of the National Guard. 11:19 p.m., video shows Buffalo police pushing man during protest. Graphic footage of a 75-year-old man being pushed to the ground by police at a protest in Buffalo has now led the Buffalo Police Department to open an investigation into the incident. Commissioner Byron C. Lockwood has ordered the immediate suspension of 2 officers involved. Mike DeGeorge, a spokesperson for the Buffalo Police Department, told ABC News that while an initial statement said the man tripped and fell, once the department became aware of additional video from the scene, they immediately opened an investigation. In the video, the injured man can be seen lying flat on the ground, bleeding from his ear, as protesters around him call for help. He is currently in stable but serious condition at Erie County Medical Center. Buffalo Mayor Byron W. Brown addressed the incident in a statement Thursday night. Tonight, after a physical altercation between 2 separate groups of protesters participating in an illegal demonstration beyond the curfew, 2 Buffalo police officers knocked down a 75-year-old man, he said. The victim is in stable but serious condition at ECMC. I was deeply disturbed by the video, as was Buffalo Police Commissioner Byron Lockwood. He directed an immediate investigation into the matter, and the 2 officers have been suspended without pay. After days of peaceful protests and several meetings between myself, police leadership and members of the community, tonight's event is disheartening. I hope to continue to build on the progress we have achieved as we work together to address racial injustice and inequity in the city of Buffalo. My thoughts are with the victim tonight. 7:29 p.m. Feds charge Buffalo protesters. Federal prosecutors are charging a Buffalo man in connection with an arson attack at City Hall. Cortland Renford, 20, allegedly threw a lit object into the building on May 30, according to U.S. Attorney James P. Kennedy. Federal prosecutors are also charging 3 Buffalo residents with gun possession after allegedly finding a weapon in a car that they say struck 2 police officers. Diana Davis, 30, Semaj Pygram, 25, and Walter Stewart, 28, were all in the vehicle that allegedly struck a Buffalo police officer and a New York State trooper in the vicinity of Bailey Avenue on June 1, according to Kennedy. 6:46 p.m., ACLU sues Trump over tear gas use on protesters. The American Civil Liberties Union and protesters from Washington, D.C., announced they have filed a lawsuit against the President, Attorney General Bill Barr and other federal officials for using tear gas, flashbangs and other weapons to disperse the crowd outside the White House Monday. The police, at the direction of Barr, dispersed the peaceful crowd minutes before Trump gave a speech about the protests and had a photo op outside St. John's Episcopal Church. The president's shameless, unconstitutional, unprovoked, and frankly criminal attack on protesters because he disagreed with their views shakes the foundation of our nation's constitutional order, Scott Michelman, legal director, ACLU of the District of Columbia, said in a statement. The White House has disputed police used tear gas, saying only smoke grenades were used. The suit details injuries allegedly sustained by several people who attended, including cuts, scrapes and bruises. 5:26 p.m., Jake Paul arrested for looting. Social media influencer Jake Paul was hit with a summons in Scottsdale, Arizona, after he and others were caught on film allegedly looting stores during a protest last weekend. Paul, 23, was charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly, both misdemeanors, and ordered to appear in court in a month. Cops allege he and a group were present after the protest was declared an unlawful assembly and the rioters were ordered to leave the area by police, and unlawfully entered a mall. Paul filmed his participation in the protest throughout the night and officers said they have other videos allegedly showing him breaking into the mall. 4 p.m., D.C. bracing for large protest on Saturday. More than 5,000 protesters were in the streets of Washington, D.C., Wednesday night, with no arrests or property damage reported, D.C. Police Chief Peter Newsham said Thursday. But D.C. is bracing for what may be one of the largest protests in the city on Saturday, said Newsham. The demonstration is expected to be peaceful, he noted.